Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Peabody, the South's ranked hotel. Southern novelist David Cole once wrote that the Mississippi Delta begins here in the lobby of the Peabody Hotel and ends on Catfish Road down in Vicksburg, Mississippi. And then if one were to stand in this lobby, they too would be witness to everybody who is anybody passing through the Delta. That phrase, ladies and gentlemen, is as true today as it has ever been. For example, of course, we have Miss Nancy joining us. Miss Nancy celebrating the 40th anniversary of her 20th birthday. Let's give her a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the Peabody Hotel was established back in 1869, a couple blocks from here at Main and Monroe. In 1925, we expanded and relocated to here, 149 Union Avenue. And throughout all of our long history, the Peabody has served as the social center for the city of Memphis. After the Duck March this afternoon, I welcome you to visit our memorabilia room. It's right up the white marble stairs here, that beautiful glassed-in room above the gift shop. In there we have artifacts and stories unique to the Peabody's history. Up there, for example, we have portraits of presidents and stars who have graced our halls over the years. We have played host proudly to every sitting U.S. president since Harry Truman here at this hotel. We have up there a piece of Elvis Presley's original RCA contract, which was negotiated, typed, and signed here in this very lobby, on our stationery, no less. But up there, ladies and gentlemen, we host my favorite artifact, a simple memo written by our general manager regarding the menu at Chez Philippe. It explained that we could have absolutely no duck served on any menu here at the hotel. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered now to witness the march of the Peabody Ducks. And if you have not done so before, it may surprise you to learn that our whole tradition here got started with a practical joke. See, back in 1933, our general manager, Mr. Frank Scott, and his friend Chip were out hunting in Arkansas, and they had brought with them what was pretty common at the time, some live duck decoys to help them hunt. But the gentlemen also brought with them on this trip a bottle of Jack Daniels. And admittedly, they focused a bit more on the whiskey, never quite got around to hunting, and so they were surprised. They returned to the hotel and found they had forgotten to leave those 3 English call ducks back at the farm, so they improvised by sneaking the ducks into the hotel lobby and setting them loose into our fountain instead. Deed done, the gentlemen retired to their rooms for the night. But when the general manager came down the next morning, all he was expecting were stories of the staff chasing ducks around the lobby, getting them out of the hotel, and generally covering up his prank from the night before. But instead he found the ducks had stayed in the fountain the entire night long. And what's more, a crowd of guests had gathered around, and they were gawking at the ducks. Now the general manager, he ran over and apologized. Said he'd get this cleaned up right away. People would never see ducks here at the hotel again. Oh, but those people protested. Said, no, they love the ducks, even insisted instead we should let them stay as our guests. So ladies and gentlemen, we've continued to honor your request, for we have had ducks as permanent residents here at this hotel for over 80 years. But in 1940, we hired a bellman, Mr. Edward Pembroke, and Mr. Pembroke was also a retired animal trainer for Wrigley Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. He told us that if given the opportunity, he could train our North American mallards to march across the rooftop, ride down the elevators, and then march down the red carpet into our lobby fountain every morning at 11 o'clock. And there they would stay until 5 p.m. when he ushered them out of the fountain, marched them back up that red carpet, up the elevators, and back to their rooms, all this done to music, no less. Now, he proposed that to management, and they were skeptical at first, but told him that if he could figure all that out, they'd let him march ducks for as long as he'd like. Mr. Pembroke then went on to train and march ducks with us here at the Peabody for the next 50 years. Now, he also took those ducks all across the country, made them known the world over. They were on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, featured in People magazine, he and the ducks even made a very special guest appearance on Sesame Street for National Rubber Ducky Day. Yeah. But Mr. Pembroke did so much for our hotel, and especially for our ducks, that he was named the world's first duck master. Now, my name is Anthony. I'm actually only the 5th duck master since 1940, and in just a few moments, it will be my honor to continue our tradition here for you. To the King Cotton March, I'll usher the ducks out of the fountain. We'll march up the red carpet, up the elevators, and back to their rooms. I do ask, if we're here in the main lobby, we remain in our couches and chairs during the march. And if we're along the carpet and the entrance to the elevator, then we keep those areas clear. And do please resist the urge to reach out and pet the ducks. They are wild animals visiting with us after all. But finally, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, please take as many flash photos as you like. You are all guests with us here today at the Peabody, and this march is for you. On behalf of the ladies, gentlemen, and ducks here at the hotel, I thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the historic Peabody Hotel. At the center of the grand lobby, the template of Mississippi Delta has been set at the beginning, stands the classic Peabody fountain, carved from one piece of Italian travertine marble. Although famous in its own right, the fountain is better known the world over because of its resonance. If I may direct your attention to the fountain now, you will witness a tradition begun in the 1930s at the South Grand Hotel, an experience uniquely yours as a guest of the Peabody. Preparing to return to their penthouse on the plantation roof for the night. Ladies and gentlemen, the march of the world-famous Peabody Ducks.
Yeah, very good. And pose for the people duckies. Very nice. Say goodnight. Up. And a girl. That's nice. Thank you. Very good. Thank you, sir. Very nice. Pose for the people duckies. Nice and slow. Ladies and gentlemen, the march of the Peabody Ducks. We thank you so much for joining us. Very nice, duckies. Alonzi. Very good. Very nice. Duckies, pose nicely for the kids. Say hi. There you go. Good. Slow waddles. Very nice. Very proper. Very good, duckies. Very nice. Slow up. Let's stay on carpet this duck. Thank you. Very good. Very nice. Up on his head. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for joining us. Have a wonderful night.